What drew me to LSX is the fact that it was the very first fellowship that combined research, public policy, along with filmmaking and journalism. And I thought, how interesting to be able to kind of cross-pollinate.
When my son was a baby, we just thought we could read anything to him, and we're pretty educated, like we thought that the message was just read to your kids, like anything is fine. And there, we have a picture of him like in his diaper, and he's like a couple months old, sitting on my husband's lap, like reading some enormous book. I don't even know what it is.
I do think there's sort of a misperception that babies, when they can't talk, don't understand things. And I think that that's another important thing to make clear, is that babies really do understand quite a bit far earlier than they can, speak and communicate themselves. The message is essentially to, read the right books at the right time. So when you're reading to infants, when they're younger, and you name characters in a book with a proper level name, like Betty, they tend to pay more attention to those characters, and they learn more about those characters. It seems that they're a little bit more engaged when the characters have names.
I think that if we can increase parents' awareness that these early years are valuable and important, and that reading to your child as an infant is an important thing to do, and an important way to spend your time as a caregiver, that would be the ideal outcome. We talked a lot about storytelling and how you tell a story, and what story we were trying to tell. And so I think that that's kind of how we ultimately got down the pathway of a PSA.
It was really a great opportunity to say, how can we communicate what we're trying to communicate, but do it in a really unique way, do it in a fun way, do it in a dynamic way, and do it in a funny way.
One of the things about PSAs that we talked about while we were just making this decision to do this was so many PSAs that were around when we were kids are still stuck in our heads. You can call to mind many of them. I haven't seen them in 20 years.
I think the process of choosing the PSA was something that was organic.
I had no idea what it would take to do a PSA when we initially were throwing that idea around.
I was always sort of skeptical about pulling this off because it seemed like such a huge thing to do. But I also thought, well, if we can do it, that's amazing.
Ultimately, I wrote the draft script, and we had Katie and Sujata and actually the LSX committee, as well as some advisors, look over the script, make their creative contributions until we came to a polished script.
I think for Rob, it was immediately clear that we needed to use humor, because he was kind of like, people latch onto humor, they pay attention to humor.
We wanted to take an approach that said we can make something that's important also entertaining and fun, and therefore accessible for the average family that's not necessarily going to look for serious-minded and serious-sounding PSAs.
So we had scheduled the shoot, and it was happening in Los Angeles.
I have never been on the set of anything, and so it was interesting to see that, and also to see just the different aspects of what comes into play. Like the fact that there are people who rent out their houses for things like this. I just had no idea.
And I think it's it's just a great product, and it is funny, but also gets to the moral of our story.
I think there's a lot of research within the infant literature that's ready to be communicated to caregivers.
Storytelling is a vehicle that allows people not only to express themselves, not only to be moved emotionally, but that allows people to create social change within themselves and within others.
I gotta tell you, Charlie.
It's Charles.
Yeah, I am so glad that we are co-babysitting our granddaughter, huh? 2 grandpas, 1 baby. We're living the dream, huh?
Yeah, this is a dream.
Oh, and I brought some books to read to little Josephina. You see the key to good baby book reading there, Chucky?
It's Charles.
It's not so much what you read, it's how you read it, right? You gotta entertain them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not true.
No, it's about the voices, right? Okay, so... okay. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. But down came the rain and said, "You shall not pass!" Up came the sun, with a cowbell, dried the rain. And then the itsy bitsy spider, well, he decided to do it again. Because what else am I gonna do? I'm a spider. I mean, I could go up and that's what I do.
You know what? Stop. Your voices are scaring little Josephina. Look, the key to reading to a baby is not to read children's books. No. You gotta read it something that's gonna stir its soul, its passion. Ooh. Urban love story. Watch this. Well, hello, Deshawn. Did you get my letters? Girl, I ain't got time for no reading. But Deshawn, I love you. Baby, I love you too. But this whole reading love letters things, so completely romantic. Everything you ever dreamed of. Mm-hmm. Your reason for living.
Okay, whoa. Okay, all right. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and let you just read these trashy romance novels to our little Josephina, huh? Let's just do it my way, okay?
No, let's just do it my way.
My way. The itsy spider.
Deshawn,
Remember when we went on that trip and washed
and
Deshawn
I should have been great.
No. What on earth is going on in here?
Nothing.
You are clearly having a baby book battle contest.
No.
Dad, I'm so disappointed in you.
Deshawn, really, Dad? Deshawn?
If you would have just followed my instructions right here, then you would have seen the right way to read to little Josephina based on the latest cutting-edge research. It's about reading the right kinds of books at the right time. And for babies, that means emphasizing character names, okay? Like in this book, if you come across a character that's an elephant, don't just call it an elephant. Give it a name, like Mr. Wigglesworth or Dante or Charisse.
Well, Grandpa Charlie, the cool one.
When a baby under 9 months actually hears a character's name in a book, they pay more attention, learn more, and their brains grow.
It's just science.
Science.
I took science.
Took science in high school. There's a science section in here I was gonna get to.
Science, we know that.